Boop. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, December the 9th, 2021. Today's daily Bible readings come to us from Isaiah 12, 2 through 6, Amos 6, 1 through 8, and then 2 Corinthians 8, 1 through 15. And I'm going to take a look at 2 Corinthians and talk about, well, I'm going to ask about this line that he has here that Paul says where he talks about Christ, though he was rich, yet for our sakes he became poor, which sort of begs the question, what was the wealth of Christ? It wasn't that he had a big fat bankroll, right? Because, he says foxes have their dens and the birds have their nests, but the Son of Man, i.e., him, doesn't have a place to lay his head at night. So it's not material wealth. Jesus, contrary to what a lot of people would like to think so they can kind of justify things, was not a materially wealthy person. It was his wealth was being uniquely present with God the Father, his Father. So when Paul talks about how he gave up his wealth and became poor for our sake, he means he gave up that connection with the Father, with that true wealth that kept him alive, that sustained him, right? And it isn't just the idea that he left heaven to come to earth. That's part of it. That's what we are preparing to celebrate as we move through Advent and move towards Christmas, that this idea that he left his Father's throne above, to quote the hymn. It isn't just that. It's that on the cross, he was abandoned to his fate, to our fate. On the cross, Jesus cries out and quotes the psalm, "My God, why have you forsaken me?" That disconnect from God is really the most severe poverty humanity does face. So when Paul talks about us then becoming rich, right, because he says by his poverty you become rich, it isn't some promise of prosperity, some American dream of conspicuous consumption. That's not what he's talking about. That's not the promise of the end of Christ bringing poverty on himself. It means now that you can have access to the Father in and through his Son in the way that Christ did. That's the wealth that Christ brings to us through his own poverty. And if that isn't important to you, you may be more impoverished than you realize. Anyway, that's the DBR for today. Get out, enjoy the day. Huggins will be here tomorrow with another DBR for you. Happy Advent. Boop.